Hello, hi. I'm back. I'm back with all my thoughts, my thinking thoughts of a thinking person, because y'all know I just be sitting here thinking. So, um, I think I'm gonna round out this series of conversations on relationships and other people because honestly, I'm just kind of like tired of hearing it and it's getting a little bit boring and mundane. Um, and like I have to move on with my life, right? With like my life, whatever that means. But I do have to move on with it. But I guess I just want to leave this here as like parting thoughts for anyone who's still kind of like stuck there. Maybe there's nobody stuck there, but I highly doubt that just because of like the conversations that I hear people having. Um, excuse me. So like every day, well, not every day. Well, yeah, kind of every day there are a certain number of decisions that are being made, right? Some people are making decisions to have families, so like they're having children. And so now those children are born into the world and those children can go do stuff. But it's like after everyone turns 18, remember, everyone kind of has a choice to do whatever they want. They don't necessarily have to do what their parents tell them to do. Okay. So then also every day other people are making a choice to like not have children. Like these are all like like choices for women specifically, but it's kind of like men too, to like have families or not have families, or even to prolong a family is choosing like not to have a family. Cuz like just remember that every day there are a lot of people who are trying to have families but they're not doing it successfully. And then also remember that we live in the globe. So even though you see a whole bunch of people on Instagram doing stuff and sharing the highlights of their lives, what you mostly actually see is people from Europe and America doing that and going other places and flaunting like wealth and stuff. But just remember, in a very large part of Latin America, Asia, Africa, people aren't online. I wouldn't say Asia. A lot of people are online in Asia, but in Africa, like hella people. There's like billions of people in Africa. They're not online yet. They are not online yet. They don't have Instagram. They don't have access to high streaming data. They can't watch YouTube. They can't watch YouTube. They don't have community college. I don't even think they have indoor lighting. Not everyone. Some people do. Not everyone though. Not saying that they need it, but these people are alive. They're humans just like you and me. They just are not sharing their lives on Instagram like you are. That's the difference. So, what we're seeing in America, I think, is this race to try to have not, and it's not for everyone, because I do feel like a lot of Black Americans just are, they're kind of delusional, because like there's some Black Americans who, okay, let me like bring this back to Black America specifically. Now, I have been posting about like, oh man, this like race for Black America for a while, just because like in America and really among the world, right? We divided everybody into racial groups. And so in America, Black is a racial group. Okay. Like we know that. That's true. So there's been all of these studies trying to figure out like why Black Americans have not been successful, but we kind of already know what it is. First it was slavery, then it was Jim Crow, then it was the war on drugs, and now it's the school to prison pipeline, the prison industrial complex, and segregated schools. It's mostly poverty. It's like poverty problems. That's sort of the big idea. Over policing and poverty problems are the problem in the Black community, but these are like structural issues. Now, a big part of why this just doesn't matter anymore is because I think a lot of people, and you know, it's sad that I have to say this, but Kanye West did talk about this. He gave that speech when he was at that show, you know, a while ago. He was talking about how Kim wanted to have an abortion, and he was like, no, that please don't do that. I love my family. I care about my family. I want to have a family with you. I care about you so much. And he was talking about that the woman who created Planned Parenthood, who basically did not want black people to survive, so that's why she was spouting up abortion clinics everywhere in black communities. Now, all of that is actually true. That doesn't mean that I'm saying like I am I am pro-choice. Like I think women should have the option to abort, especially like low income women probably shouldn't be having children anyway. Not in America. There's just no like you probably it's just a lot. You don't need that struggle. It's hard. It's really hard. But also there's a lot of like I don't even know if poor families in general should probably be having children. Maybe I don't know. I feel like it just requires like so much, and a lot of people just like don't have what it takes to get there. So it kind of feels like a lost cause in my opinion, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. Um, yeah, what to say about that? But okay. So even despite that though, so let's say that like poor black communities who keep doing like drugs and illicit activities and stuff and creating like direct pipelines to jail with all of this criminal activity and counterculture, let's say that those people just keep going, which they will. There will always be that. But like those people do not want to like have families or like continue on in society. So everyone else in society just kind of like looks down at them, kind of like it's like what are you doing, like why are you here, what is the purpose, like what's going on here, this doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone else is just kind of like, I don't even know why. Well, everyone else just keeps going in whatever their like real lives are. But remember, we talked about those racial groups being like black is a racial group. So there's a lot of black people though who are upwardly mobile, who are really really upwardly mobile. Now they're not even upwardly mobile because they're already at the top. Like these are like the lawyers, the doctors, the engineers. They're already at the top. Some of the entertainers, like I would say Kanye West, who's like figured out how to turn his music empire into a fashion empire and now into a tech empire. I think there will be other musical artists who do similar things. Rihanna is a good one who's turned her musical empire into a cosmetic empire, right? And so, like, yes, these people are now entrepreneurs and cultural icons who will continue to be wealthy for like a very long time. Like, Beyonce and Ivy Park, and just she just has so much like cultural influence, right? And like that's not gonna stop. Now, I wish I did not have cultural influence. I don't know why I've become the face for counterculture. It's like very strange because I actually play pretty much by the book. I just listen to other people's stories and I understand them because I like have communication with other people and I listen to a wide variety of music. Like people really have been telling their stories through music, which is why it's kind of weird how there's conversations around whatever drill rap is. I didn't know that was a term for it, but drill rap is like kill rapping, gangster rap. Um, there's whole documentaries on this. I don't know how we're just now having conversations about this, but Ice-T did a whole documentary that was talking about this where he was like he saw some video that came out of like New York, like he was in LA and he was like he wasn't a gangster rapper. He was just a gangster. So he was just like rolling around, shooting people, killing people, taking their money, being a awful male in society, and he was just doing it, right? But then he heard a song. I'm sorry. I'm not joking. This is like literally how this there's like a whole documentary about this on I think it's on Netflix, and it's just like it's like the history of rap, right? Now one of that there's like 3 episodes that cover gangster rap. Now Ice-T goes on this episode and he just tells the story, and I was just like, damn. So now the reason this part just sticks out to me in a way that I don't think I'll ever be able to forget is because he was saying like, yeah, I was all in LA and I was being a gangster, it was like I was doing gangster shit. And then I heard some rapper in New York who made an album. He had a little song on a cassette tape, and he made a video. He had one cassette tape, and he had one video where he was rolling around doing gangster shit with a soundtrack. Now, this one cassette tape inspired Ice-T. He was like, I have finally found my tribe. I am not joking. This is exactly what happened. He was like, I have found my tribe. So he literally he gets his camera out. He goes and buys a camera, and he just started making videos of what he did. It was like when he made one video, it was like his first video that he ever released, right? And it was just about what he does on a Friday. So in the video, he robs like 4 people, but he was like, he really robbed them, and he just put it on camera. Then he like shot 3 people. Then he gets like 6 bitches, and he's like rolling around in the car. And the whole song was just this like, it was a narrative tale of him doing some real gangster shit. And this was the start of gangster rap. Because now Ice-T, who had been inspired from that one guy from New York, he'd now become the face of gangster rap for LA, because all the other gangsters knew him too. He was homies with all the gangsters. So now all the gangsters, they all wanted to have mixtapes of gangster prodigies. So everybody started making videos about all the gangster shit that they're doing. Okay, now this has never really stopped. But I think everyone else is not paying attention to like the iterative cycle of this. Because like in Ice-T's case, he had one inspiration that came all the way from New York. So all the states in between, they hadn't really caught on to like the gangster rap lifestyle yet. Either you were a gangster or you weren't. And most of the gangsters were not like flaunting the gangster lifestyle. Like, I don't know because I'm not on the scene in Chicago, but I know for sure at that time, Chicago gangsters weren't making music videos about Chicago gangster shit. But at least from what I understand about Chicago gangsters, LA and New York, they don't really hold a candle to Chicago. So like what Ice-T was doing was awful. But in America, we've seen a lot, and that ain't the worst of it. That's all I'm saying. All right, so I think what's happening now. So drill rap. I heard this on the Trevor Noah special. I guess it started with Pop Smoke. Like Pop Smoke was the first rapper to like come out with a new iteration of gangster rap, which is now called drill rap. Now, drill rapping, the iterative turn on drill rap as compared to gangster rap is now drill rapping talks about the murders that have already happened. And so it's almost like a comical or humorous take on how someone has died recently and shitting on the dead person and their family. Now, when someone dies, it isn't happy, right? It's like, it's very sad. It's like, oh my, well, it's not for the person who like shot the person, right? But like for the family of the deceased person, the people who loved the person who died, they are mourning, like they are sad. So to see somebody else making a drill rap hip hop jam with like dances and comical, puns about how they murdered the person probably makes the family very upset and makes the allies of the dead person very upset. Now, this is what is happening. So, like, once the family or allies of the dead person realize the comebacks of the death, now they seek revenge. And they go find the drill rap comical mic influencer, the person on the mic who's saying all this shit that about the dead person, and then they retaliate and try to kill that person. Now, this, from what I understand, this is how Pop Smoke died. I don't know because I don't follow the drill rap saga, but from what I know of gangster philosophy, okay, this is how it works. This is how it works. Okay, so I think that all of it is kind of ridiculous because everyone only has one life to live. And honestly, everyone is going to die, right? So, like, if you lose someone to murder, now that is really sad. That's not, it's not funny. But, like, revenge, um, it doesn't actually accomplish the thing that you want it to accomplish. Like, what you want is reform. What you want is to, like, understand like, you want to get to the bottom of the story, right? You want to understand why the murder happened in the first place. Like, for instance, in my family, from what I understand, I have a family member, Alex. Now, Alex was murdered, and he was trying to be like, he had aspirations to be a rapper. Now, it seems like he was actually doing this. He was like putting out music, he was like performing places, he was just rapping. And I don't know why, but other people were upset about this, and then they killed him. I don't actually know the whole story. Like I said, I don't follow street politics. But from the story that I heard, that's pretty much what happened. And it's very strange. Like, it's very strange. Like, I don't know. Like, whoever took away his life and his dream, they did not therefore go and accomplish their own dreams, I don't think. Like, I don't see how Alex would have had anything to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did Alex's dreams have to do with anyone else? Cuz, like, as y'all see, there are like millions of rappers, millions of, like, everyone has a mixtape. There's so many ways to get your art out into the world. Why would you feel the need to, like, take something away from someone else to, like, put, like, what does that really put in your pocket? Like, what do you really gain from that? I don't know. I'm actually wondering. But who knows? I don't know. This isn't really for me to understand. Going back for a second though. Okay, so we talked about the drill rap saga and kind of street politics, right? Now that's a real thing, but all of those people are like cycling the drain a little bit. It's kind of like typically they make it to 20 and then die off somewhere around there. And then that's the end of the story. There's nothing like fun there, and there's no real like life progression or goals that can be accomplished because your life has already stopped really before it even began. So there's no, like, children that are coming from that or lessons being learned from that. Maybe. I mean, maybe if that person had a child and they have a mixtape and that mixtape is out, that child could learn from the mixtape and then, maybe try to be better. Like, I really think that not even in a funny way, but the children of a lot of these rappers could make great prosecutors. Like, they could make great attorneys. I would highly encourage them to go study, like, criminal justice. Studying criminal justice might really, really help, the children of this violence sort of like understand the systems in which they live and how to like navigate those systems. Um, but I was getting back for a second to my personal feelings about kind of like it was legacy virtually, but it's the adults that are here, the people. It's not just the adults because the children are going to grow up. The adults are going to grow up. And now I feel like a lot of people have this like idea, maybe more of a sense of idea of what partnership and like what living a fulfilling life like looks like now, maybe because they needed to see like music videos about it. I mean, I feel like if you've actually had access to music videos for a while, you've seen this before because it isn't new. But like, yeah, so you might have like access to a music video that might help you um detail something like about your life, right? And you know, it might help you see something in your future based on some mistake or some, yeah, something that you've noticed in the past. And hmm I feel like maybe we just need to see more of this in black bodies. That's the only way I can really say it. Yeah, we just need to see more of this in black bodies. Like, we just need to see black bodies out doing stuff, being free, having experiences, doing shit, because maybe we just don't see that enough at all. I mean, I personally get really tired of just going out in general. It's exhausting, but it does feel like no one else is going to do it, and maybe no one else has like experiences that are as boring as mine. Whatever.